This is part 2 of section 1.3. Now, for these first two problems, these are what I call translation problems. Now, these are one of the most important types of word problems. Actually, it might be the most important type. What I'm going to do is I'm going to treat these as if I'm taking it from English into another foreign language. So my foreign language is math. When you take a foreign language class and you have to do a translation of something, what you often do is a word-for-word translation. And then after you have all of the words, then you apply the grammar of the language you're going into. So you make sure you put the words in the correct order, the one that is natural for that particular language. Do your adjectives come before or after what they are modifying? That type of problem, that type of thing. Math has a grammar as well. Okay, for example, if you're doing 3 times x, our grammar says that we change that to 3x. We don't go x3 because that's the wrong grammar for math. So that's what I'm talking about here. Okay, so for this first problem, 12 less than 1/3 of a number. This is strictly a translation. We're not being asked to do anything with this. So I'm going to do a word for word. Okay, 12 is 12, obviously. Less than is a subtraction. Now, when you have a subtraction, we have to be super careful because English, we put things in weird order when we're talking about a subtraction in English. Sometimes it's going to be the first thing minus the second. Sometimes we mean the second thing minus the first. So we'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. 1/3 is 1/3. Okay. Now the word of is often a multiplication. And we have a lot of different ways of dealing with multiplication in math, so that's why I didn't put the symbol there. Okay, of a number, we will call that x. Okay. Now, we know that we still have to deal with order of operations, and we've got a subtraction and we have a multiplication. So we're going to have to deal with the multiplication first. Okay, so what I have is 1/3 times x, which we would normally write 1/3 x. Okay, so now the only thing I have to deal with here is what order do I subtract in. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to put other numbers in here and I'm going to put it in the same pattern so we can figure out which way it makes more sense to write our answer. Okay, so a quick alternate thing, okay? Let's say I make $12 less than you. It's the same pattern here. I make 12, I made it into dollars for context, less than you. All of this is basically in the same place of you. Now what I have to figure out is if I want to find out how much I made, do I need to take 12 minus what you make? So let's say you make $20. If I need to find out how much I make, do I do 12 minus 20? No, I would not do that. What I would do is what you make and then subtract away what the $12. Okay? That's the order it makes sense when I put it into money context. And by the way, in math in general, if you can change it into a money problem in your head, it will make a lot more sense. We are all good with money problems. Okay, so the answer to this problem is going to be 1/3 x minus 12. That's what they're looking for here. Okay, so let's try the next problem. The sum of a number and negative 4 is 12. Find the number. So this time we're going to end up with something more than just an expression. By the way, an expression is what we call something that doesn't have an equal sign in it. And an equation always has an equal sign. Okay, so let's do our translation. The sum, okay? Sum is addition, but it's actually a little bit more than addition, okay? Sum is the answer to an addition. And the reason that's important is depending on the type of problem, we may need to end up putting something in parentheses, so we do the addition first, okay? So sum tells you find that answer, okay? The sum of a number would be x, okay? This time, of is just the English word of. It can be a little confusing, but of often means multiplication. Okay, the sum of a number and negative 4. So I'm adding these two things together, okay, is equals 12. Okay, so what we have here is x plus negative 4 equals 12. So the sum of a number and negative 4 is 12. Now we need to solve this. Now plus a negative 4 is the same thing as x minus 4 equal to 12. Now what I need to do is I need to move this over to the right, and I do that by adding 4 to both sides. And I end up with x equals 16. And that's the answer I will be looking for.